Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Vala. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Thank you so much, as always, for all the support on the channel. I really appreciate it. Today's video is actually going to be a guide on Vala. I did build her up, max her out and everything too, except for her skill books. I didn't use any skill books on her because, in my personal opinion, she's not worth skill booking. But I still want to get into her uses. She's kind of cool, but it's hard to find a spot for her, and I could be ruining people wanting to watch this or anything too, but that's okay because I'd actually find her average to below average in my opinion, and I'll show you how I have her. Now, I know Hell Hades has done a guide on her, and a few other content creators have done a guide on her too. She really is, to me, sort of a one-trick pony, and that is for, like, arena, basically it. That is it. And I don't have the extreme type of gear that Hell Hades has or anything like that, but he's a master crafter at all these heroes and everything too. So anyway, I still feel like I have some pretty damn good gear on her though. I put her in 4-piece defense and 2-piece speed, and it's some pretty sick gear from what I have available. Not like triple S tier, God tier gear, but like pretty solid pieces. But before I actually get into it too, I kind of have to address this. I was actually going to do a dedicated video to this, but I decided not to. It's Saturday night right now, and the last couple of days I've been real busy with work and family stuff. So I made a video where I did try to trace Draco myself too, and the whole Cartman drama with him getting Draco and all. My personal opinion on it is I'm really sort of numb to a lot of the things that Polarium's done. And it's bad, but I will speak out against it because I do think that it's actually very, very... It puts a bad taste in many people's mouths. So I'm going to do the same thing that Darth Micro and Brad or Chofly or Chosen are doing. I'm not spending anything for at least 30 days on this game. I personally would prefer it if they actually made Draco a permanent fusion like Rosin. It really, they need to do something big PR wise for players, and I think it's really stupid of them because yes, they probably don't need all of us to stop spending, and they'll still have all these whales spend money. That's true. It'll still happen no matter what. However, it will hurt them a little bit, and it's the only way we can actually hurt them and give them a message. And I think it's actually a great time to do it with this fusion and this 1.13 coming out. Also, because of this, I'm not sure how hard I'm going to try for this fusion, depending on what comes up. I probably will, because I've got to be straightforward and honest with my audience, too. Whatever audience I have, I would like to make content and things, too. So I actually probably want to get the fusion champion so I could actually play around with them and have them myself and also do a video on them, all of that type of stuff. Or both of them, whatever it's going to be. But the Draco thing, it's been beaten like a dead horse. So it's already Saturday night. This all happened Thursday night. I was super busy with work. I actually worked on Friday night. It's not that big. I had a work event I had to go to Friday night that it was previous commitment that I've had for a few months. And I couldn't do a video at all last night. I probably would have done one if I could have get better timing on this, but I'm just being straightforward with everybody that watches this stuff. But at this point, I feel like it's been beaten so much. I agree with what most of the content creators say. It's outrageous, and I don't think they should have given him a free Draco for it. And the lying is really the bad thing. Honestly, I could care less if they gave him a free Draco, actually, if it was handled differently. However, I still don't necessarily like the fact that anyone was given free champions, because I don't think... This is just my opinion, too. I played Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes before this, and my opinion is... They had a game changer program there where people had a test environment. I can understand giving content creators a test environment. It makes it so that they can get more advertising from the game, and the content creators who help work and actually basically are like marketing reps for the game can actually go out and show people the cool things to chase type of thing, right? But at one point, EA actually stopped the game changer program and didn't give it a test environment anymore. I actually think that's the more fair way to do it. I mean, I really do. Just because I feel like if we're all going to be on an even playing field, there shouldn't be any favoritism like that. But that's just another thing. Anyway, I don't want to get too far into the weeds on all that. I mean, I just bullshitted a whole lot out of that. All I really want to say is not good on Plarium's part as far as lying goes, but it's just par for the course. I mean, they really do run like what would be like the Russian or Ukrainian mafia, it feels like. That's what it feels like. Anyway, so let's actually get into the gameplay part of this game. So I've got some other ideas where I'm going to be creating some different stuff too that is much more focused on free-to-play type stuff in this game actually too. Anyway, so Vala is technically free-to-play if you have Amazon Prime, but here's my Vala. She's got 36,000 HP, 4,400 defense, 107 crit rate. I don't need 107, you just need 100, but I built her a little bit of crit damage, 161, 248 accuracy. So I've actually got pretty good stats on her. I don't find her that good. That's just my opinion on her. But I really wanted to actually do something, show her the crit rate gloves I have on her. I want her to crit as much as possible with some speed and some accuracy, and these flat stats are pretty meh. This piece is cool because it rolled a double crit rate, 6-star defense chest, speed boots with double HP roll, with a little bit of defense, crit damage. The attack's useless, but that's okay. The weapon here has some crit damage and speed, or crit rate, crit damage and speed and HP. And then this has double crit damage, accuracy, HP. So no speed on that, but that's okay. HP and speed here, a little bit of defense. So it's decent gear, actually, is what I should say there. It's not like the best gear in the world, but it's decent. Her masteries, I'll show you. I actually built her. I wanted to try the crit damage, and I went through this and tried to think, okay, what's a little bit different that I don't usually do, or that her kit could synergize with, because she has the ability to remove shields, plus the ability to remove everybody's shields, plus the ability for her to take less damage while she has a shield buff too. So I did go the standard crit rate, crit damage, but I wanted to get the shield breaker mastery because it does increase damage that she does to targets under shield buffs by 25%. And then I kind of just looked through some of this stuff to say that what the heck, this is just really kind of my first impressions and my thoughts, because I've only really tested her a little bit today, ran her through Minotaur last night. And then, this type of stuff, I did this because I thought, okay, the first hit on each enemy, maybe, should get an extra little bit of percentage there. And plus, if I use Torment or someone with sleeps, with freezes, and I have Kaimar for sleeps too, she's got increased damage if they use that too. And I did just get Flawless Execution on her. I think maybe Helm Smasher could be actually pretty good, depending on where you use her, but she does fall off. I didn't want to use like War Master or Giant Slayer at all, because I tested her out in dungeons a lot actually, and the only dungeon I would say she's really okay in is the Minotaur. She's really good in that actually, but you don't need her past a certain point. But the rest of the dungeons, she really sucks at dragon. But she could technically be like a negative affinity tank there. I tried her in Fire Knight. She's not that good there either. I didn't try her in Spider because I really don't think she's going to be that good. I tried her in Golem, and she's really not that good there either. So it's like she could be okay in Potion Keeps maybe, but she really only has one use, one place, and that is the arena. So we'll try her out, see if we can get to a battle here. Let's see if we can actually beat this team. This is actually a challenge right here with Lilitu, Mountain King. Not like the toughest team in the world, but I'm using a Torment lead right now too. Usually I use Arbiter for the speed boost, but the reason I'm using a Torment lead is she's based off defense. I wanted to see if the crit rate and crit damage or defense could proc harder. I can't get her to hit super hard. That's just me. So it's with the gear I have on her, she's not going to hit super hard at all. So we'll see what she can actually do here in this battle. And then I'll use this. There are some shield buffs here, so that's actually good. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So we'll try to actually remove some of these shield buffs. Let's target Mountain King because he's actually... So she didn't remove the shield fully on him. So I guess that's okay. But we'll try it again. And I don't think it did that much damage either. It didn't seem to be all that impressive. Is my take on her. So my take on her is really, it's cool if you get her, and depending on where you're at, she's really going to be great in like Silver Arena. So if you're like a free to play player and you linked your Amazon Prime account to it, she's probably really good actually in Arena, I should say. And that's about it though. So what'd you do, about 17K a pop there? Not terrible, not like anything spectacular by any means though. As a matter of fact, I'm actually significantly reducing what I normally do in damage with the team I'm using by slotting her in too. And maybe it's not the best team comp, but I really just wanted to come out with something to show what my thoughts on her were. I actually think she's going to be good in Faction Wars too. That's probably the main thing. Faction Wars and Arena. She favors this move on her AI big time. So I'll just, right there, Fortified Core, where she puts a shield buff up. So I'll run it on auto here. Puts a shield buff on herself. So every time that's going to be like her first one. Unless, I have noticed, unless there's actually a decreased defense, which she does herself. But let's say you have a Tyrell or somebody that does a decreased defense, or a Madame Ceres. She will actually then do the move that removes the shields and everything too, which I think is the one that also has decreased defense on it too. But it's a little weird, like kind of wonky AI as usual in the game. But let's try this team too. Well, I'm just gonna run it on auto on this one, so it's there we go, and then we'll just call this a video because there's not much I could really go to that's super in depth on her. Because I really firmly believe I did test her in all the dungeons and everything too. At least the way I have her built, the only real use for her is Arena. That's it. And would I rush out and build her? Not really, is my opinion. Depends on where you're at in the game though. If you don't have a lot of epics and you don't have a lot of, there's a whole lot of things that can do better than her in Arena too. I mean, I almost feel like War Maiden's better than she is. And War Maiden's a completely free farmable rare, right? So I almost feel like she needs a buff. That's actually what I would feel like. She needs some type of a buff. The decreased defense. So this is actually what I'm going to state my opinions with her. So we showed her there in Arena. She actually did pretty good damage in that run. So 164,000. But I also have a significantly different team power than this guy does. No offense, Lord Vossler, you're doing great. But I'm just like, I've just been playing longer, probably most likely. But so good hero, not really. Average to below average. And then let me see what I would actually say to buff her on. So let's go in here and look at her. So whoops. So here we go. Attacks one enemy 2 times, increases the inflicted damage by 15% if the target's under a shield buff. It's kind of weird. I'd almost rather have this be like increase the damage if she's under a shield buff. That would actually make more sense. Like if they're under a shield buff, where you're trying to strip the shields away too, right? Like that's actually a pretty good, cool thing that she does, is stripping shields away. So teams with like miscreated monster and stuff that can actually pop shields up, she's useful for that. She's definitely got like, but she seems very niche. Like I don't even think you would want to run her actually as your everyday Arena team. You're just going to use her situationally in Arena to actually go up against a team that you know has big shields, like maybe with a Warlord or a Santa or a miscreated monster. You just rip the shields off, right? And then this is it, removes all shields, then attacks all enemies. That part's cool, actually. I like that part. But then has a 30% chance unbooked to do the decreased defense debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. This should be at least like a 70% chance. I feel like you only book it up to a 50% chance. I mean, Tyrell blows her away. War Maiden blows her away with this too, as far as the decreased defense goes. So it's a little weird. And the other thing too in the AI, like I said, she doesn't actually... She uses this move if they already have a decreased defense, but otherwise she always defaults to this move first, which is placing the shield buff on herself and an increased defense debuff on herself. So she's tanky. That part's kind of cool. And she may help you be like a negative affinity tank if you don't have something better. But I just feel like there's way more better heroes to invest in besides her. And then decreases damage received by this champion by 15% while under a shield buff. So I would change this to be at least a 75% chance for the decreased defense. And I would change this to be the shield. If she's under a shield, it increases the damage that she does as well. And then maybe her multipliers aren't that good, or I just don't have her built right. But I wanted to show her this way, so I'm going to call it at that. Just wanted to actually do this and show her what I did with her and everything too. Thank you very much for all the support. I really do appreciate it. So if you could do me a huge favor, please just subscribe to the channel. I'm continuing to grow it, continue to produce content, and thank you very much for all your support. I really do appreciate it. I'll be back soon with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Cheers!